Hi and good evening to Thfc till I die. We have a bit of breaking news. Ellie, it's over to you.
Yeah. We were texting. Well, we were private messaging Mickey Hazard tonight, but unfortunately, he's been caught in traffic and he won't be able to make it in time. So we're asking him to we're rearranging it for another day. So we do apologise. That was out of our hands, but Mickey did apologise to us, and he's asked us to rearrange another date. So we'll be in touch with all the news about that and give you all the information.
We're actually hoping for it to be the end of this week, aren't we? We're looking at
we're hoping I've suggested Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So he'll come back to us, no doubt.
It's just one of them things. It happens, but look, tonight what we decided to do was to re-show the 82 Cup final against QPR, Mickey Hazard's first major honour while we're here. So I'll quickly say hello, but I say hello also to my guest, my co-host, Philip. How are you this evening, sir? Philip
is frozen.
Philip has actually been put into perpetual shock.
He's frozen.
He's come back. He's come around now. How are you this evening, Philip?
He's sort of
frozen. I'm fine. I hope my internet stays up. It's been very, very, very patchy the last couple of days. So, I recovered from Saturday and looking forward to tomorrow now. We can do nothing about Saturday, but we can do plenty about tomorrow.
Yeah, we can. And Brad, back on the channel again. It's great to have you on here, sir. How are you? And thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Disappointing that Mickey can't make it, but I'll certainly be around for when he can. I'm fine. I'm sort of gradually recovering after Saturday's debacle and trying to look at it with with a bit of sense rather than if anyone heard me on Saturday, it was not a lot of sense spoken, to be fair. Just a lot of expletives, really, a lot of swearing. But it was actually an interesting Saturday at the pub watching it. Met some really nice people there, some Spurs fans, and a rather interesting Arsenal fan. He was one of these guys that's really in your face, but you're a good mate, you're okay, you are for a Spurs, you're all right, really in your face. And then he's sort of like, I just got to go outside for a bit. And I'd already bought him a pint, and he sort of disappeared. We didn't see him again for the rest of the evening. It's really weird, just really, really strange.
Look, great to have you on. And Ellie, how are you? How are you this evening?
I'm really well. I'm a bit disappointed that we can't have Mickey on, but obviously that was out of our hands. He wanted to come on.
Yeah, I'm hearing funny noises from next door. I don't know what he's doing. I know Philip's gone.
He's going to fix Mickey Hazard's wheel, maybe.
Yeah, that's what he's done. Philip's internet gone. We'll be back as soon ASAP.
He'll be back. He'll be back. He's the godfather.
Yeah, he is.
He's paid the bill.
I'm saying nothing, Ellie. I am saying nothing. Right, we'll get into the chat. Mick, good evening, Dermot and Ellie. Coys, good evening. Lisa, good evening, Dermot, Ellie. Hi, Mick. Look, again, we apologise, but we
very
again,
glamorous with your dog there.
Yeah. Again, we apologise, but it's one of them things that was out of our hands, so we are very sorry, but we are hoping to get him on again this week. And
yeah,
I know I'm going to be disappointed. I'm disappointed as much because he's my hero, but look, good things come to those who wait. That's the way I look at it. So that's the way you look at it.
Spurs fans, we should realise that as well.
What's that, Brad?
As Spurs fans, we should realise and be very used.
Yeah, that's very true. That's so true.
He's a professional footballer. He gets pulled left, right, and centre. You know, at a drop of a hat, he might be asked to do something, and he has to drop all his plans. So we understand. We understand fully.
We do understand. We've got Mick New, big hi Dermot and Ellie. Hi Mickey. Hi Mick. Mark, how are you doing? Great to see one of the all-time Spurs legends on the show, Coys. Yes, he's calling you an all-time Spurs legend down there, Brad.
Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you, Mark. That's very nice of you.
You are. I'm telling you,
Phil 123 Coys says, even though legend. Some of these comments I will keep, and I will save them, and I'll put them in for the show. But still get your questions in tonight. If you want to ask Mickey a question, please get them in tonight and we can save them. Send them either email. Our email address is on YouTube. You can private message myself, Ellie, or Philip, and get them in, and we will save them, and we will get them on Friday or later on the week when he's on. So big up, Philo. Lisa, all good here, thanks, Mick. Mick's saying, all good here, thanks. No work at the moment. Waiting for a part for a truck coming from Belgium.
Oh, good. I hope it comes.
I hope it does too. Andrew Gregory, big up. Andrew, thank you for the message on Twitter. It really meant a lot what you said, so thank you very much. If nobody knows what that meant, we sort of had a bully in the chat last night. Which made me stop a stream. Now I did come back and end up doing the whole stream with Chris and Shamu, which I'm very grateful for. But Andrew is very kind. Private messaged me last night, so big up, Andrew.
Andrew is a regular commenter on my songs as well. So cheers, Andrew.
Yeah.
Phil 123 says, "No worry, guys, no worries. Well, look, we'll get your questions, and when my neighbour stops drilling, I'll drill him. Sorry, it's really annoying me. These things happen, guys. Mickey is a good man, and will comment. Yeah, he is. Mickey is a legend. Yeah. He's my legend. He's my hero. At school, I was Mickey Hazard in the school ground. Everyone was Ozzy Ardiles or Glenn Hoddle or Graham Roberts or Paul Miller or Ray Clements. I was Mickey Hazard. I think the guy is brilliant. For me, he's a proper Spurs legend. JC said, "Good evening, lads. No worries. Mickey didn't get on, but looking forward to tomorrow evening and expecting a real response to that Derby disaster." Yeah, I hope so too. Lisa says, "No worry, guys. I may have to concede my phone to my son anyway. He gets bored in the car waiting for his sister." Well, tell him to watch the match, Lisa. He won't get bored with this.
That sounds like a bit like when I had my younger kids. And I used to do that.
Lisa says, "Big up Phil and Brad. Corey boy, big up Corey boy. Hey, hey." And then Chris, big up Chris, my Newcastle brother. Big up Chris. It says, "Dermotron, hope you are feeling better, mate. Look, I'm all right. I'm feeling better. Thanks to you last night for coming on and what you said privately, but also coming on with you. Had a right giggle. Listen, if you want to pop onto this game, Chris, you're more than welcome. Let me know. I'll send you the link and we can come on as well. And we'll get how you thought of the game as well, Chris. Well, big up. And update from Philip, he says Sky has gone as well. So apparently up in his part of Ireland, the internet is gone and the Sky's disappeared. So God knows what's happening up that part of Ireland where he is.
Must be part of that oven-ready deal that Boris was going on about, wasn't it?
Yeah, it must be, yeah. Right, shall we get on with this game? And shall we put it on for everyone? Right, here we go. We're back in 1982. So get your here we go.
I'm back here where that Archibald flag is.
Yeah.
I remember.
Are you ready? Yeah.
I was
I'm in there. I'm usually at the bottom tier, so I'm somewhere around there. Just a bit to the right of the goal. I was.
This is the team. It was Ray Clements in goal. We've got Chris Houghton. We've got Paul Miller.
I was 20.
We've got Paul Price. See the Irish Hotspurs there with Dave. Dave's already there with the Irish Hotspur flag. We've got Mickey Hazard. We've got Steve Perriman, captain. Graham Roberts. Steve Archibald. And number 9, we've got Tony Galvin. And number 10, we have England, Glenn Hoddle. And then number 11, Graf Brooks.
I was watching this at 11 o'clock in the evening in Australia, in Adelaide.
And they were a second division side, weren't they?
They were, yeah. And who was their manager, Ellie?
Terry Venables.
Yeah, and what did he win for Spurs?
FA Cup in 1991. Yeah.
No, he won the FA Cup in 1967.
Yeah.
We both, yeah. I mean, as a manager, that's what I
meant as a player.
Stop confusing me. I'm a woman.
All right. And if you want to know how Spurs got here, this is their run to the final. Round 3, they beat Arsenal 1-0. Round 4, Tottenham beat Leeds 1-0. Round 5, they beat Villa 1-0. Round 6, they beat Chelsea 3-2. And then in the semi-final at Villa Park, we beat Leicester 2-0. So that was...
this is back in the days where I used to go out every Saturday night, every Friday night, every Saturday night to this club. And I remember getting back after the Arsenal game and my dad saying, we beat Arsenal 1-0. And I remember the Chelsea game, I think I had to wait until the morning and phone it up, where they had like this results service and just said, Chelsea 2, Tottenham 3. That was it. That's all I knew about it. And then the semi-final again, I was at the club and I couldn't hang on. I had to ring my dad. Dad, what's the score? What's the score? And he told me that Spurs were 1-2-0 and I was celebrating and that.
Chris says here, at least the classic games didn't have VAR with a VAR official from their splits. Dude.
So funny.
Oh, that is funny.
Here they come.
Fast forward.
Here come the military.
Here comes the big wigs.
The big
Bert Middlechip, was it the FA person?
Bert Middlechip. Yeah, Bert Middlechip.
Remember him, yeah. This is the days where the FA Cup actually meant something, didn't it? Or it certainly meant a lot more than it does now.
It still means a lot to us fans, but it doesn't mean so much to the club, does it?
Can I just say the band are playing this a long, long way to Tipperary. That's what they're playing there.
All standing as well in those days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I loved standing because you could really have a good old knees up. You know, when you're playing well and all the crowd behind you. Cheese rolls.
All cheese rolls that does.
It does. There was some really good banners that year.
Maybe he got hungry halfway through the match, and there is the flag for QPR.
The Union flag. It's called. It's not called a Union Jack. It's called a Union flag.
Is that what they call it?
Tony Curry.
Yeah.
Did you see the flag that says Hoddle eats curry?
Yeah. And Ellie, there's a player in the QPR side did play for Tottenham. Can you name him?
Yeah, Terry Fenwick.
Yeah.
Terry Fenwick.
You're on the ball tonight, Ellie. You're on the ball tonight.
My husband supported them, and that was the year I met my husband.
Did you meet him at this match?
No, I didn't meet him at the match. I met him about 3 months before the match, and then the match came up, and then we were like rivals. Quick rivals, and we survived it. We didn't divorce.
Walter McDonald says, I agree, Chris. FA Cup was something to look forward to. Exactly.
It was.
And
I still look forward to it. I don't care. Still, the cup. That cup is special to me. Especially in my heart.
Also, Ellie, and I think Brad as well, and I think you would join me and everyone in the chat. Filio just said, and it was a horrendous disaster. I just want to say thoughts and prayers to all the people that died in the stadium in Indonesia.
Our hearts go out to everyone who's lost somebody.
It was something. It was horrific. So our hearts and prayers go out to everyone there.
I made the point on Sunday that it puts the Arsenal Tottenham game into perspective. Really,
it does.
So.
It really does. And there's the Spurs players going down the line.
Keith Birkinshaw looks so young now. Wow.
It's hard to believe.
He was only going to be our manager for another 2 years, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Perriman, he looked as young near the end of his career than when he started. He had that baby face. They called him the baby face assassin, didn't they?
Yeah. Was he playing at right back in this final?
He was,
yeah. I reckon, yeah.
He went when Keith Birkinshaw took over. He went to right back.
Yeah, because he sort of had he started off as a midfielder, and he played as a sweeper, didn't he, in the second division? And then he sort of moved to right back.
Well, you know Eugene. He's from Malaysia, isn't he? The one who's on
Kuala Lumpur.
So they're not that far from Indonesia, are they? There,
it's that area. Yeah, I think it's that area. I don't think it's but yeah, it's.
It's such a shame.
Corey Boy puts here, the FA Cup means more to me than the Prem. It has history and is one of the holy grails in the world of football. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. You, Corey Boy.
Chris says football in general was a lot more entertaining until VAR. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought he's going to say until the war, but I know what he means now. And then we've got Chris here, thoughts and prayers all affected in the YouTube. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You see Simon Stayrod, number 10? That was my husband's favourite player. He adored him. Yeah. He wasn't all that good.
And there it is. Do you know what? There's a story behind this. Keith Birkinshaw, only in the morning of the game, decided not to play Ricky Villa on the morning of the game.
Yeah.
How hard was it for Ricky Villa?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Ozzy Ardiles actually flew back to Argentina, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Ricky decided, I'm not going. Clive
I remember that referee. Look what he's doing. He's loosening up those thighs and the calf.
He's running around. He's running around saying, "Look at me, I'm a referee."
Yeah. That's when referees were referees. You know, they could actually referee a match without this stupid VAR.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? Some twat. He should be shot at birth. The one who thought of VAR should have been shot at birth.
Yeah. Chris's Filio's put, for the FA Cup, the most prestigious competition in the world, football is a shame that clubs don't appreciate it more. Yeah, exactly. And
only one thing I'll say about the Premiership and winning the Premier League is the fact that I'm sick of mainly Arsenal and Chelsea fans going on at us that we haven't won it since '61. So that's why if even probably even over winning the Champions League, I'd like to win the Premier League. Having said that, the Champions League.
There was a guy today, Brad.
Yeah.
That just what you said. Go on, you speak. What was you going to say?
I was just going to say that the only thing about winning the Champions League that is better than the Premier League is the fact that Arsenal and Chelsea never. Oh, actually, Chelsea haven't they? Well, Arsenal have never won it, so that'd be like one up on it. But no, it's all that, and we even get it from Leicester fans, don't we? Let's face it. Yeah. Leicester fans have a go at us as well. So that's the only reason that I think out of all the competitions, I want to win the Premier League. Although the way Man City are playing at the moment, that's very unlikely. That's going to happen for a time.
And then we've got Chris here saying my gran and granddad live next door to Garth Crook's parents. Wow. And
nice one.
Chris just said, set that.
Well, yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah.
I was just going to say about your point, Brad. There was a guy, I won't mention his name, but he said, what have Spurs ever won? So I gave him a whole history of what we've won and the history behind the history of what we've won. Right, so I hope I shut him up.
It's only in recent years that we haven't been winning. You know, it's only in the last
14 years, but there's loads of clubs who haven't won something for more than we haven't. But it's
Newcastle.
We're Spurs, we should be winning stuff, so we should be winning cup. At least one every other year, at least, minimum.
Well, we used to win a trophy a decade, didn't we? Until the the last decade, wasn't it? Because we had our last chance was the Champions League final, wasn't it?
Didn't know that what goes back, Brad, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's 7 decades. We won a trophy every decade.
Tony Galvin, he was a great player. I loved him.
He could speak Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's an Irishman.
What do you expect, Eric? Ellie, what do you expect for being that brilliant player? Of course, he's from Ireland.
Yeah, of course. All the Irish
What do you
players.
expect? Paul McGrath,
we had
a
very
great
good
defender.
Irish players.
One of the best defenders the English league has ever seen. Pat Jennings, another Irishman, one of the world best goalkeepers you'll ever see. You know, you have
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane, one of the greatest strikers you'll ever see.
Brilliant.
I
love Robbie Keane.
The other fella who used to fly down the wing in the 70s for Tottenham.
Jimmy Neighbour.
No, what was his name?
Peter Taylor. There was Jimmy Neighbour, Peter Taylor, and then you've got Cliff White.
He was a Northern Irish lad, young lad.
Oh, we used to have a young lad. What's his name? A real young guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Gary O'Reilly.
No.
Him.
What's his name? I actually saw him at V98.
Yeah.
All places.
An Irishman who was a winger.
Yeah, Chris something. Played in the early 70s. I think he made his debut.
I can't think.
What's his name?
Maybe somebody in the chat will help us out.
Yeah.
Come on, Paddy Hartnett. You know all the Irish people. No, I was just thinking who was on the wing in those years. We had Jimmy Neighbour. Terry Naylor was a defender, but he used to play on the wing as well.
Then
we had Peter Taylor, Ralph Coates. Did you say his name was Chris something?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's Chris.
Let me put.
I don't think he played a lot. I don't think he played much for Spurs.
Spurs, Irish.
One of the last games.
We had Roger Morgan and Jimmy Pearce.
Yeah.
I know that, but they didn't play long.
My dad used to work for the GPO. He put a phone in for Roger Morgan.
Nice one.
What's it? Yeah, he played one of the last games I saw before we immigrated in '73. We beat Aberdeen 4-1, and I think he scored a couple of goals, and I can't remember his name.
Was it Gary Doherty?
No, it was in the 70s, Ellie.
70s.
Terry Neal, I think Terry Neal sort of time, or the end of
it was before.
That was my era, and I should bloody know it.
It was still Bill Nicholson, because Bill Nicholson quit when I had moved to Australia.
I apologise for the name at this time of night. If you can hear it, I do apologise.
What's his name? Chris.
Andrew
Gregory's got it. Chris McGrath.
That's the one.
McGrath.
That's the one. Yeah. Well done,
Andrew.
Well done, Andrew.
Well done.
We've got Wilton McDonald, Armstrong. We've got Andrew Gregory. I lived in Clinford, St. Giles in the 70s.
Terry Armstrong, Stephen Carr.
Wow.
He had a brilliant tournament, didn't he, in the World Cup for Northern Ireland?
Mark Newfield Bill. No, he's another great defender.
He was
brilliant.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jerry Armstrong. No, Chris, it wasn't. But you're near him. They were from the same part of Ireland. You are right. And Wilton McDonald went. I don't know if you watched it last night, Ellie. Wilton McDonald was telling us the time. Ian Walker made him chuck his TV over his balcony. Now, that's true. He did put that in the show last night, right? And we were saying the TV did go over the balcony, but nobody was below him, so he got away with it. But Ian Walker, mate, it was so funny. It really was. Oh dear.
Do you remember John Lacey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the tall skinny centre half.
I watched him this evening when we beat Birmingham in the league. And Gary Mabbott scored 2 goals in that game. He hadn't scored for 2 years in that up to that match.
He played from 1978 to 1983, John Lacey, 152 times, scoring 3 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We 73 or end of 73 was when we immigrated, and you really didn't get much coverage. You could get the papers on a Monday morning, see what the scores were. Or you could phone up for a really, bland Australian lady that didn't even pause between the games. So penalty.
Yeah, penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I wonder who's
that was
going to
Graham
take
Roberts'
it.
run, wasn't it?
Mickey Hazard.
Yeah.
Go clip there.
Graham Roberts was really pleased with himself there.
It was a great run by Graham.
I'll tell you a story. Actually, I'll tell you a story about this game. We watched the penalty first. I've just remembered. Yeah. Just remember.
Hoddle.
Right.
Yeah.
1-0 Tottenham. Now, sorry, this is the replay. At first, I thought it was the first game. The first game I watched around a friend's house, like cup final night, and there was one of the girls in our crowd. I wasn't going out for anything. I just remember the last 10 minutes holding her hand really tightly, going, "Come on, sort of thing." But this final here, this game here, we went round to my mate's house. He lived just down the road. He was a Chelsea fan, but I had a load of Spurs friends as well. And we were on the beers. You're talking about 8 o'clock in the evening. We're on the beers, on the beers and that. And then we're all knackered. And his dad goes, "Don't worry, guys. If you want to have a sleep, I'll wake you up when the game starts." We all went to sleep. And I remember waking up thinking, it seems really late. And it's still dark. I've switched the TV on. And they're walking off at half time. So I totally missed the first half. Everyone get up, sort of thing. So, they're walking off half time with 1-0. So it's the only, certainly up until probably just recently, the only cup final, half a cup final I've missed since 68.
Yeah.
But
we've got something for you, Brad. That girl you're holding your hands with, we've got her here for you now.
She's got a broken hand still. She's bandaged up.
I tell you, I love the advertising. Wimpy. I mean, Wimpy isn't around now, but we'll go to some of the chats here. Andrew Gregory said, Andrew, I did live near in Hillington, just down the road from Steve Perriman. He had a shop in the Uxbridge High Street. Didn't know that.
No.
Well, across sorry, go on.
Wilton McDonald bought Lacey from
Fulham. Yeah.
And Chris with the best question of this is the question we'll have to think of, Chris. Big up, Chris. He says, Wilton
took him out there.
What effect did who Gomez have on you? I used to hide and panic. Chris, I think I was the same as you when Gomez was in goal. I used to hide behind the sofa quite a lot.
I remember the Champions League game.
Big up Peter M. I think it's the first time I've seen you in here, so big up for tuning in.
Peter M. Come on, Peter M.
He says, I watched this while I was working in Canterbury. Brings back memories. Yeah.
Lovely.
And
it does.
Corey Boy says, still got 2 Wimbies in Brighton. Well, Brighton, I think, is still stock in the 1980s, to be fair.
Behind me is Ealing Common. And I do believe that's where Steve Perriman played his first competitive football game.
Wow.
But they don't play football there anymore. I've been living here for 21 years, and I've never seen a football game over, so it must have been some time ago. I don't think they play there at all now.
Here's a question. Sorry, go on, Ellie. Sorry.
Say about Brighton, right? So my daughter Sophia, she went to University of Sussex, and what's his name? Jonathan Ross's daughter was there at the same time. Yeah, and I just remember what you just said about Brighton being in the 80s. It still is now, because I went a couple of years ago with Theo, and we loved it because it's all old-fashioned, and it's kept its charm. Brighton's kept its charm. I like the old seaside towns like that.
Yeah, we haven't done it for a few years. We used to go, have a lads' day out there sort of thing and just do a pub crawl around Brighton.
Yeah.
Big train to get down there, and it's only about 45, 50 minutes from London. We go around all the pubs and then get the train home again, sort of thing. But
Katie Price as well is from that area, sort of.
Oh, really?
I think she's moved a little bit out into the better areas, but if you see her pink mobile, they call it.
Yeah.
We did actually see it when we were down there a couple of years ago. Yeah,
oh, wow.
She's out and about all the time getting her tickets.
And you know,
That's a disclaimer.
Of course, when I was in my early 20s, I was a bit of a mod. I used to have a scooter and all that sort of thing. And
yeah, I can imagine that.
Brighton sort of spiritual home, really. So
yeah, it's a nice place. It's got lovely restaurants.
Yeah.
There's a really nice Greek restaurant that me and Theo went to in the marine area. The marine area is really nice. Very, very nice. Yeah.
I do like Brighton.
I recommend everybody to go to Brighton's marine area. It's lovely, beautiful restaurant. You've got your choice as well. There's loads and loads of different restaurants there. Go on, Hoddle. I love you.
Question. I've got a few questions for you in the chat, so maybe this will be a bit of fun. Before we do that, Ellie, we are doing a charity stream, aren't we? Do you want to explain?
Yeah, we are.
Explain to people what we're going to do and when that. Well, we're looking to do it in a couple of weeks, aren't we? Or a week's time or something like that.
Yeah, probably in a week's time or 2 weeks. We're not sure yet, but we're going to be discussing that with Dermot. So what we're going to do is a 12-hour charity stint for people with autism mainly and ADHD, because we know our Dermot had his troubles. And we want to support you, Dermot, but we also want to support everybody else who's got a family member or a child or even an adult who's just been diagnosed with it. You know, it's something that's hard to live with. And we want to pay our tribute to that charity by doing a 12-hour stint and raising money for them.
One of my friends in this social club I'm in, he's got Aspergers, which is not in the autism family. And it's a lovely guy, but he's really funny. He'll be out and he'll say, "Oh, it's too loud in here. People are too loud," sort of thing. It's just really.
Can I say something, Brad? That's my biggest thing for loudness, because I was diagnosed with Aspergers. That's the bracket I was put in with the ADHD. And one thing I am constantly saying is, especially like to my partner, bless her, is the TV's too loud. Or you're too loud, and it is a constant thing. And maybe the TV isn't too loud, but to me it is. And it's we're just something that, especially with children, there isn't enough done, especially over here for children. And I know in England there isn't. And I think that we need to make aware that for parents there is the help out there. There is the thing, and we just want to add a little bit. And while we've got this platform, me and Ellie have been talking about this for a while, that we want to use this platform for good. And this is one of the reasons for doing it. So we're going to do a quiz. We're going to show games. We're going to do a Tottenham quiz. We'll get a few people on from other channels, get them involved. We're going to do a Tottenham quiz. We're going to show a few games. And we're going to have a bit of fun for 12 hours. And so in the next, there'll be more on it. But I think we're looking at it in the next couple of weeks. And
I read a book. I read a book about, it must be about 15 years ago now, called The Mystery of the Dead Dog in the Night. And it's about a young lad who I think is 11 or 12, and he's got Asperger's, and he finds a dog that's got a pitchfork through it, like someone's killed this dog. But it's all from his point of view. So he's got Asperger's, but it's from his point of view. So get to learn about what it means to people that have got it. And it's very, very interesting reading this book. It's very, very good. I think they turn it into a play as well, but that's a really, really good book.
I think it's important for people to understand that everyone's different. Everyone has different ways of dealing with it. I have my faults. I admit that. I mean, I'm not perfect. But when everything's routine, once you have a routine put in place, you're happier to work within that routine. And I think you wouldn't be surprised to find probably a lot of footballers are autistic themselves with some way, shape or form, because of the routine of training every day. And when that routine finishes, you see some footballers go on to other things, but other footballers sort of melt down, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's very much that a lot of I think more adults in the last 2 years since the pandemic have been diagnosed than any time in the last say 10 years.
Yeah, and I don't think it's common knowledge, but they say that people that suffer with Aspergers in particular are very intellectual people, and they've got something in them that's so talented. Like, I was just looking at a list of people that have suffered with Aspergers, and on there is Isaac Newton, and you've got Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, who was a very, very clever comedian.
Really? I never knew Jerry Seinfeld. Wow.
Yeah, and there's a guy in England who does the wildlife programs. He's a bit like David Attenborough. I can't think of his name. Do you know who I mean?
Yeah.
He was on Countdown quite a few months ago, and he was talking about Asperger's. Living with it, and people don't understand how his behaviour can be a bit off compared to what they're used to. But for an Asperger's person, they see it like that. So, he was explaining, and I was really fascinated, actually. And I like that guy as well as a person. He's had so much character, but I just can't think of his name.
Yeah, the only way I describe it, Ellie, it's like everything's black and white. It's either one or the other. That's the only way. If you really want to understand it, the Big Bang Theory, I don't know if you two have ever watched it, but that's a proper example of everyone with the same thing being stuck together. It is the prime example of a TV show. I mean, I loved it. I loved the Big Bang Theory.
I had a real interesting conversation with one of the guys I used to work with. He worked in IT, right? And obviously, to work in IT, you've got to be reasonably intelligent. And we were discussing whether the Big Bang Theory was good for nerdy people or bad for nerdy people. And I was saying, it puts nerdy people in a good light because they're funny and blah, 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 blah. And he was, no, it's not. And we had this really interesting discussion about whether the Big Bang Theory was good for nerdy people or bad for nerdy people. But but that Asperger's, that book, the theme of the book is he wants to sit his proper exams or his GCSEs with all the other kids rather than a special class sort of thing. And it's all about that. But it's a really, really good book. Years ago, I read it.
It really. Guys, I wonder if you can help Peter M out here. I have my own theory, but I'm not really sure. So I'll give this to you two, Ellie and Brad. Peter M said, "Does anyone know why both teams played in their away kit?" And this guy, and I think Ellie knows by the way.
I'm trying to remember why. There was a reason.
Was it they were both blue and white?
I think it's because the blue and white stripes of their shorts are sort of they're similar to our blue, but maybe slightly lighter. They're blue shorts, and they thought it clashed.
But normally you'd have one of them change, wouldn't you? But
yeah, you would. I suppose they wanted to play in those colours, I presume.
Because it was the same it was the same in the first game, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
But then when you look back to Tottenham Manchester City in '81, they both played in their home kits. So it's weird.
It is. Got Mark Hughes said Elon Musk is on the list too. Love him to sponsor
Elon Musk.
stadium.
I was just about to say him, and Donald Trump as well. Apparently.
Well, that just sums it all up.
Don't even go. Donald Trump.
Don't even go there, Ellie. Take him off the list, Ellie. Take him off the list.
The thing is,
he would give a bad name to elephants in Africa. He really would.
Yeah, I agree with you, but he's a man into billions of dollars, so he must have had some bonds to create all that money for himself. He's got a good business mind.
He got it off daddy.
This is the big myth about Donald Trump. He hasn't. He got given $400 million from his dad. He went bankrupt 6 times, and his dad bailed him out every time. So all this myth about him being a good businessman is
okay. Yeah, you've enlightened me now.
He's got a good PR. He's got a good PR. He's good at doing that. But yeah,
he's obviously worked on me then.
Peter Rem is telling you.
You'll get me wound up here. You'll get me wound up. So
Peter Rem is telling you, let's not go down the Trump route. I'll come here to relax. So
I don't even like the guy. I don't want to talk about him.
Apparently, Andrew Gregory says Chris Packham. Packham.
Yeah, that's the wildlife guy.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's the guy, Chris Packham. Yes. I like him because he's like a younger version of David Attenborough. Very intelligent guy. He goes on some quiz shows sometimes. He's on Countdown quite a lot.
I think he was a punk as well. I think he was a punk. I think he was in some punk.
He was a punk.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Chris Packham.
Oh God.
Yeah,
this we've started sort of political theme now in the chat, which I'm not going to go down that route, but I'll bring this up because you two are from the UK, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, don't get me started, but Mr. Lefty here.
Okay, not Trump. What about Miss Liz Truss? Yeah, we'll want to go there. And somebody's asked, where's the Godfather? Well, apparently his internet's gone, his Sky's gone. So I think the Godfather's gone to find somebody that works for Sky, to give them a few.
He's going to kill him. Well, he doesn't like Sky as it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So he will be back on Wednesday or Thursday. Philip tomorrow now does his drumming in Dublin, but we are doing a watch along tomorrow night for the Tottenham game. So please come and join us if you are enjoying this. And again, we apologise for no Mickey Hazard, but it was out of our control. It was out of his control too. It's just one of them things.
Yeah.
But we will. So
but
we do apologise.
He's on the show.
He is.
There he is.
Well, technically, he is on the show. So. This is an evening with Mickey. This is an evening with Mickey Hazard playing football. So technically, we did advertise it right.
Look at that ball by Hoddle, brilliant.
There's a referee doing his Saturday Night Fever act. Hand up in the air.
Their shorts were very high up in those days, weren't they? They used to wear them right up their bum.
Well, there again, Tottenham were the fashion changers because they in the 1991 Cup final. Wore those really long shorts, and that's long shorts coming back again.
Yeah.
Filio says all talk sport, Ellie. Yeah, Philip doesn't like talk sport either.
No.
Right. Here's my question. Right, this is for you and then the chat as well. Now, if you know Ellie, don't blurt it out. Yeah. Just keep it.
I won't. I'll
just put your hand up if you know. Right.
Okay.
Tottenham Hotspur won the FA Cup in 81-82.
Yeah.
Who did they beat in the semi-final that they beat either in the 61 or 62 FA Cup final?
What, in 81?
Right, no. Tottenham won the FA Cup in 81-82.
Yeah.
But who did they beat in the 82 Cup run? The same team they beat in the 61, 60 or 62 FA Cup finals? Yeah, Ellie knows. Just put your hand up if you do know, Brad.
Which did they beat in the 61 and 62?
No, or 62.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, wait, get a few. Right, you can put your hands down. This is not school. Feel like the teacher. Right, we'll get a few more in the chat. We'll bring up here Wilton McDonald. Maybe. It's a maybe. We'll get a few more people. I love watching these old games, I have to say. They're a bit of fun. All right, I'll give it a few more, to play it down. We'll give it a few more minutes to get anyone else. Who did Tottenham beat in the run to the FA Cup final in 82, but they beat them in either the 61 or 62 FA Cup final? And as for a point, who scored the first goal in the 62 Cup final too?
I think I know that one.
I think I know it. Yeah.
Corey boy, we've got a few more and we'll get a few more in, and then we'll go to you guys first, and then we'll go to the chat. Filio, I think you're in the wrong decade or the wrong century, but I will put up your answer. Right, you ready? Right, we'll go through the we'll go through the comments first. No, it wasn't. You are true, but the semi-final was played there in '82. But no, it wasn't. There wasn't that, and it wasn't Burnley either. Wilton, they played in '61. No, so I'll start with you, Ellie and Brad. Who was it?
It was Leicester City.
So yeah,
exactly.
Beat him in '62, and then in the semi-final in '82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you also tell me, guys, who scored the first goal for Tottenham in the '62 Cup final?
I think it was Greaves.
Yeah. It was Jimmy Greaves.
Jimmy Greaves.
Had a habit of scoring on his debut in Cup final. So I don't know what decade Filio was actually talking about, or what Telford. Big up. Carl Simpson, big up. Carl Lester. And then Filio, and then Greavesy, big up Filio. And Carl's just put it. Fair enough.
Well,
Leicester got their own back on us, didn't they, when they won the league?
Yeah, they did actually.
we scored more goals than them, and we let in less goals than them, and we still didn't win the league.
Ellie, it's bringing back bad memories. Just.
I just can't believe it. How did Leicester win the league over us? And then we finished third in a 2-horse race. It was bad. I was so depressed when we drew against Chelsea as well, because we were 2-0 up in that game, and we had a chance.
I tell you what, Carl, we'll give you a point each, all right? We'll give you and Phil a point each, right? Okay.
Yeah, Greaves.
This is the second. This is the second question. Player. Can you tell me? Ellie should know this, right?
Yeah, go on.
Ellie should know this. It's part of the 70s. No, not yet. Just put your hand up, Ellie.
All right. Can
you tell me the first team Glenn Hoddle scored against, and who did he score? When did he score? And who did he score against? Ellie does know this because she sent me the question for our 70s show we're doing.
I know this. I know this.
So, right.
I remember the commentary. The commentary.
Yeah. It wasn't actually his debut. It was his debut. My brother told me was against Coventry City, I think.
Yeah,
if I remember rightly. Yeah. But his full debut was against this team. We're gonna just about.
And he scored his first ever goal.
We're allowed to say now. Should we say it together, Brad?
No, I'm waiting for the chat, Ellie. I'm waiting for the chat.
Okay then. All right. Well, hold our mouths then.
Yeah. So get everyone involved and a bit of fun with these little. Oh, look at Ray Clements.
Look at Steinrod. He's just hit Paul Miller, and Paul Miller's going. He's going to give him some. Because apparently he was a really hard man. Graham Roberts said Paul Miller was a hard man. But I didn't see him like that because he had a baby face. Yeah. He was a cute lad. He was a very, very handsome boy. I just thought he wasn't hard. But obviously he was.
We all know about you and the 80s. And the 80s
yeah.
Shame I haven't got my backup here to help me. Andrew Gregory said...
I've got a gift from Paul Miller right here. Right here.
Ellie's going to write a tell-all book soon. A bestseller.
I was the first lady, so they knew me, sort of. Yeah.
Andrew Gregory, but I think a young Gary Lineker played for Leicester in the '82 semi-final. I think he did, actually.
I'm trying to think,
Right.
He went to the '86 World Cup, didn't he?
Yeah. All right, and then Brad. Right, give us two of them. I got them right in the chat. So who was it then?
City.
Stoke City. Yeah. And the commentator goes, "It's a lot from Hoddle," and he just belted it.
What a great goal he scored from outside the box.
Yeah. Big up Corey and big up Andrew as well. Both got it right. Both.
And I think John Duncan scored the other goal, but I could be wrong.
He did,
John Duncan, yeah. I would say Glenn Hoddle probably scored at least 95% of his goals from outside the box, because I'd say 50% of them were free kicks.
You know what? I went. I was living in Australia. Went to England in what year was it? 86, I think. Oh no, it might have been 79. It would have been 79. And Hoddle got picked to make his England debut against, I think it might be Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. I went to that game.
And it was on the night before I was flying back to Australia. So I got tickets to the game. On my way to the game, the mist came down, the fog came down. And the game, the first game in 50 years to be postponed because of fog. They played it the following night and I couldn't go because I was getting a flight. And I would have been behind.
No. We could have met, Brad.
Yeah.
We could have met.
Yeah, I would have been behind the goal where he scored his first goal.
Yeah. I was behind the goal that he scored his goal, and that was a fantastic goal. It came to him, and he just sort of placed it right into the top corner.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a ferocious shot. It was just a well-guided shot right into the top corner. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
I went crazy because I love Glenn Hoddle anyway, and I was thinking, why isn't he playing regularly for England? And then when he got picked, I was so happy. Because he was my hero, Glenn Hoddle.
He was.
I loved him. Him and Steve Perriman for different reasons.
Yeah. It was 79. I hadn't seen Tottenham for 6 years. And the first game I went to was against Nottingham Forest, where he scored that volley after about 3 minutes.
Oh, my God. What a great goal.
I'm in the shelf, the lower tier of the shelf, or was not the shelf, in that lower tier. And I just remember as the ball was dropping to him, and he was about to volley it, I honestly thought, this is in. And he volleyed it and it went in. Yeah, just one of those brilliant moments.
The technique on that volley was fabulous. His body showed, because he was such an elegant player, Glenn Hoddle. Watching him, he's like a gazelle floating through the pitch. You know, he never particularly broke sweat, did he? He just needed to do what he needed to do. All you wanted Glenn Hoddle to do is pick up the ball deep in defence and pin a pass, or pick it up and just make a run, because he could beat. He was a very good dribbler. No one could get the ball off him. He was like Dembele, but better than Dembele. And that's saying something, because Dembele was an awesome player.
And the amount of goals he did score from outside the box as well, he just incredible.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's what was missing from Dembele's game as well, his goals. I think he scored 7 goals in his whole career with us. You know,
he scored many, although he actually scored in his debut, didn't he, Dembele?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Is that the thing is, he created so much, so you forgave him. You know. I remember that goal against Leon in the UEFA Cup. That was a good goal away from home.
I don't remember. There's a lot. This is back in the time when we used to get a lot of games. We never used to get the European game in Australia. It was. In fact, when we won the UEFA Cup in 85, no 84. I was actually, whatever it was, I was around my girlfriend's house. And just waking up in the morning, switching the radio on. They sometimes have a bit of sporting news, and on the sporting news, they actually did say that Tottenham had won the UEFA Cup. So it's like, that's how it used to be in those days. So
I know.
Oh, it's different now. You've got the internet and all that sort of thing, and live football, and the equivalent of Sky and all that sort of thing. So you can see live football now. But when I was living there, you couldn't. Even they used to have the match of the day, or the equivalent used to be on the Monday. You couldn't even see it on the night of the actual game. You had to wait until the Monday to watch it. So that was, and they used to have one programme on the FA Cup each week, sort of thing, like the Road to Wembley type thing. And if you were lucky, you got Spurs on it. You watch that, it's brilliant. I used to go to the newspaper library in Adelaide, because in the archives they had the English papers that are about 2 or 3 days old. They used to look for all the match and see what the team was, that sort of thing. But you tell kids that today, they won't believe you.
No. That's true. I'm trying to say, sorry, Ellie, go on.
No, you talk.
No, go ahead, Ellie, go on. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say about Mickey Flanagan, right? Because he played for QPR, and before he went to QPR, he was at Charlton. And I was only 12. And it was probably one of my first real away games. And they battered us 4-1. Oh, my God. Mickey Flanagan scored a hat-trick, and I was really dreading this game because I was going to the match and I was going, oh my God, the last time we played Mickey Flanagan, and I was doing my brother's ears in. They said, shut up, Ellie. He's not going to score. We're going to win. And I said, all right. But deep inside, I was scared that he was going to have one of those games again. Because in the first game, they played really, really well, QPR. Even in this game, they had a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
I just thought we used the ball better. You could tell the class between the two teams.
It doesn't seem there's many chances, is there, in this game so far?
No, there wasn't. There's a lot of football, but not many chances.
Yeah. I think from memory, the first game was similar as well. Again,
Look how Hoddle shields the ball.
Yeah.
Brilliant. He found 2 players there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And he fell over and he still got it to Chris Hewton. Brilliant. We got a stall on the game.
No, it shouldn't have.
That's it.
Is it stalled?
Chris Hewton. Come on, Chris, throw the ball. This reminds you of all the time wasting that Brighton did at our ground. Oh my God, I went to that match. I was so depressed leaving the ground. It was unbelievable depression. Because they really did do dirty tactics and they wasted so much time. Oh my God. It was one of those games where you think, just end. Just end. You know how it ends.
Ellie, are you there?
I think we keep losing her.
I think, yeah, Ellie is frozen. She's frozen in time. She's gone. Ellie has left. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellie has left the building. She may. Oh, look, she's back again. She's doing the non-call.
Hey,
Earth to Ellie.
Yeah.
Earth to Ellie.
What happened there? I think that was Mickey Flanagan.
I don't know. I think it was an alien, a UFO Ellie.
The other thing about the season when we were in the second division, well, I think that Charlton game was the fact that even the coverage on the Australian TV was mainly the first division. So the Spurs games you never used to get. And it's just really weird. On one of the news channels, they actually showed the goals from Tottenham when we beat Bristol Rovers 9-0. And I actually recorded it on a tape recorder because no videos. I just remember playing the tape or the commentary. I used to know the commentary by heart, 9 goals. And recently on one of the BT Sports or one of the channels, they actually showed the highlights of that game. So I've kept that. I recorded that and kept it. But yeah, Colin Lee. Because
do you know what?
Colin Lee, I know.
I've actually know I can get a copy of that game. I wish I put that game on tonight now for a bit of fun.
Oh, the 9-0.
I bought myself a shortwave radio. Okay. And that was the first night. The first night I actually got it working with, I think, Paddy Feeney's Saturday special, whatever. So it's the BBC World Service, and of course they didn't have to keep commentary, and they just kept going. And there's been another goal at White Hart Lane. There's been another goal at White Hart Lane. What?
When we beat Wigan 9-1, that was a good game as well. And I think Paul Staltieri scored for them, if I remember rightly. Did we buy Paul Staltieri from Wigan or?
No, another guy. I can't remember his name.
It was another guy. Yeah, I just remember. No, it wasn't Paul Staltieri, but anyway, that was a really good game as well.
That was the sort of game that you felt that you could actually come on the pitch and score yourself. It was just like everything was just going in. Everything. Yeah, I think Bentley had a free kick, didn't he? That went in, and it's like...
I think it wasn't that long after that Wigan became quite good, and they got to the cup final and beat Man City, didn't they?
Yeah, it might.
And then they got relegated. I think, did they get relegated the same season?
No,
when they won the FA Cup.
No, they got relegated 2 years later.
2 years later, yeah. I know there was one side that got relegated when they won the FA Cup. I can't think who it is, but I'm sure there's one team that actually got relegated. Was it Cardiff City? Maybe. I can't remember, but one team did.
Middlesbrough.
Let's see if they know in the chat. Middlesbrough.
They
was
got
it
to
the
an
League
FA
Cup?
No, they got to an FA Cup. They got to an FA
final,
Cup against
they lose
Chelsea.
To Chelsea. Yeah, they lost to Chelsea. Yeah.
I've got a friend called Gary who is a Wigan supporter, and he actually had tickets from Wigan for the away end of that 9-1, and he didn't go because he had a cold, so he missed the game. But Wigan refunded all the away fans back their money because they lost 9-1. They refunded the money to the fans, so he got a refund and he didn't even go. But you know, isn't that brilliant? This is a team Wigan who probably nobody wants to. Yeah. So he didn't even go and he got the refund. But that just the fact that they did that that's that you don't see that. Certainly wouldn't see it at Tottenham, would you?
No.
But yeah, I just think that's brilliant.
In the chat, they're mentioning the Haaland. Did you see his hat trick? Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's laid on a plate for him, but he still has to finish it. But I just think his movement is so good and he's so tall. They had Ericsson marking him. Do you believe that? What? Even my husband piped up. He goes, "Why is Ericsson marking Haaland?" He's about 5'9", 5'10" at most, and Haaland's 6'5". That's how bad Man United are organised, aren't they? They're not organised team, are they?
At least at half time in our North London derby, we still had a chance of winning it. Whereas at Manchester United, that was it. They'd lost the game. They
were just getting consolation goals, weren't they? Yeah. What did you think of our performance against Arsenal overall?
Okay, when I've looked at it, I haven't looked at any. I haven't watched any match of the day. I recorded it, I haven't watched it, deleted it. But obviously, I watched it at the pub. I think at half time, I remember thinking, "Great, we've been outplayed for most of that half, but we've got to half time at 1-1. We're going to get better in the second half. We're going to improve." They've got to improve anyway.
That's what I thought as well.
And then you see you have the thing about the first half. We broke a lot of times, but that final ball was rubbish, and we couldn't capitalise on that breaking. So if we'd have made one or two goals, we might have scored another goal. And then, of course, 2 minutes, Lloris makes that awful mistake. I mean, what was he trying to do? And I don't think Romero escapes blame here either, because what I did have a lot of time, but why is he passing it back? He just booted the shit out of it. Just got rid of it, and but.
I agree with you to a point, but I've been in that situation myself where the goalie parried it to me, and I've been in such close proximity. It's hard because it's a shock. You don't expect it because you expect Lloris to put it round the post or parry it to the side. It shocked him. So I'm not saying he couldn't have booted it, because he probably could have, but it just came off him, and he just muffled it, didn't he? Muffed it, as they say in North London. He muffed it.
I don't think he did.
And then Lloris muffed it again, because he let it go under his body. He done two mistakes.
I mean, even if the referee had given free kick for a back pass, at least if they had the whole team on the line, and then, so of course you had that, and then you had at that stage I thought, okay, 2-1. If we can play good football, we can still grab an equaliser, sneak an equaliser, and get a point.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the sending off, which I mean. Yeah, it's one of those fouls where if the referee had given a yellow card, you thought, yellow card. He gives a red card, you think, red card. It's one of those fouls, those decisions that I think you could give both. You could give a yellow card. Someone said that should be an orange card in between the two. But when you look back at it, there. Marinelli's got the ball and he's going back towards his own goal, and he's surrounded by 3 or 4 Spurs players. So he didn't even have to make the tackle. They could have just shepherded him there. I think. And Hoiberg's going, "What are you doing?" You know. So, and then of course we're missing on that right hand side, aren't we? We couldn't make substitutions for whatever reason, and then of course they scored a goal on bad defending. And at 3-1, that's it. And at 3-1, you're thinking, well, I hope it's 3-1. Just hope it's not 4 or 5. You know, so
I think CONTE wanted to do damage limitations and also save his. Do you think he would have taken off Kane rather than Sonny and Richarlison? Kane.
Yeah,
I think sometimes he must have something in his contract that he doesn't come off unless he says so. You know, there's all these conspiracy theories about Kane and free kicks that he's got something in his contract. But I very much doubt it. It's just because he's the king of White Hart Lane, isn't he? You know, even however good Sonny is, he's still not on that level of Harry Kane. He's not. And David Harris would like to jump in there, because I've actually said something nice about Harry Kane. Look, he's broken loads and loads and loads of records. Sonny's a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. But Harry Kane is a proper footballer, you know. He can do everything.
He's come up through the ranks as well. He's had all the loans and that.
Most of that losses is because he hasn't played well. When we lose, it's because Harry Kane's not played well.
I think, you know, I was watching Alistair Gold today, and he was saying that he believes that Basuma came back from international duty with a bit of a knock, and that's why he didn't play the 3-5. But whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it was disappointing. But it's one game at the end of the day, you know. If Spurs went on to win the title, you wouldn't care. You know, you'd lose that game, wouldn't you, and win the title any day of the week. So, you know,
definitely.
You know, in fact, I think I'd probably lose both games if I was offered the title. So, you know.
For myself, Ellie. Sorry to interrupt.
Was that Ricky Villa walking off? Was that Ricky Villa, wasn't it? I'm sure that was Ricky Villa walking with the Birkinshaw.
He wasn't played, wasn't he? He wasn't played, so he might have been
He was there though. I remember they flashed on him. I'm sure he was there. I'm sure that was him walking. I just can't. I was quite far from the where they go out. I was quite far from that area, but I'm sure that was him. And I'm sure they did flash on him when I came home and I watched the replay of the match. I'm sure they flashed on him in the tunnel, but he was right at the back.
Yeah.
So
he's probably with
the
team, wasn't he? Probably with the team.
Yeah, of course. Because Ozzy and Ricky love Spurs. They still do their thing for Spurs nowadays. Yeah. I'm going to go on one of these Aussie trips. You know where you can go and see Aussie? I've selected Aussie for my birthday because I want to. I've met him once at a Catholic church.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm sure that's Ricky Villa there, just behind.
Yeah, the commentary would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing
I've
that
only met Aussie once.
Going back to the Arsenal game, I think the thing that let me down was the fact that you felt we'd give it a go. You know, it different.
Yeah.
Everyone made the point. Well, this is Conte's team, not Nuno's team, which were awful last season.
Yeah.
But they still, even in that first half, you know, we just gave them too much of the ball. They didn't really trouble Lloris that much. But, you know, it's just I knew for 20 minutes we'd be under the cosh. I knew that. And I knew we'd play that sort of defensive way, but just thought we'd give it a better go. But now, well.
It was two completely different styles, wasn't it, lads?
Yeah.
Right. So we're playing holding, letting them have the ball. And then as soon as they get into our area, we start defending. Yeah. And then they were playing the high line and we were catching them out a lot of the time. But like you said, Brad, our final ball was off.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to have my...
Oh.
Sorry, Ellie. You go ahead again. Sorry.
No,
go ahead, Ellie. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry.
I finished. I was just going, because it's just disappointing that we didn't get at them more.
Look, It was a bad performance with every which way you look at it. It was. All right.
Terrible.
Look, for me, Luis needs to go at the end of the season. We need an upgrade on our goalkeeper. He needs to be taking the captaincy off him and given to either Hoddle or Bentacle in the midfield.
Yeah.
I saw a stat the other day that out of 91 big games, Luis has made 11 mistakes. Now,
91 big games.
That could be in cup games, league games, European Cup games, Champions League games. Imagine them league. How many points have we lost, say, in the year we should have won the league because of his mistakes?
The only problem I see is the fact that he's saved it in a lot of games with some of the saves he's made.
Yeah, I'm not.
And if you've got a new goalkeeper, and even if he's an inexperienced keeper, you're not guaranteed that he's going to make those same saves. He might not make any mistakes, but the new goalkeeper might not make those sort of saves. But
but he's not as effective as a captain, Brad. That's the point I'm making. You need a Roy Keane type player.
The thing is, he's probably going to retire in another year anyway. He's only signed a 2-year contract, which takes him up to summer 2023. Is that correct? Or 2024?
He's got this season and next season, hasn't he? I think.
Look, we should have gone. We should have gone for the young lad from Southampton, our national goal, Bazunu from Southampton.
I've heard about him. Yeah, I quite like the Wolves goalkeeper as well. Put a big.
Chris said that last night, Brad, as well. To be fair,
the Wolves goalie. I was talking about him one night. They had a fantastic defensive record because of him.
Yeah.
And he can kick well as well. In Lloris's defence, he's a fantastic shot stopper, and you've got to take it all into perspective. You know, he might have made mistakes, but they've not always.
Ellie,
I don't know. I want to see the stats on this. I want to see the stats.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ellie, he's not effective
he
as a captain.
let us down in the Champions League. I know that.
No, he's not as effective as captain. You need a Roy Keane type player in that midfield to take everyone.
I agree with you there. I don't know why we've got a goalkeeper as our captain. It's silly. The only thing I can think of is that everybody respects him at the club, and he's a sensible guy, level-headed, you know. And
didn't Pochettino in his book say that he felt Lloris was like his second in command at Tottenham, so he was like his captain on the pitch, but.
Well, you see what he tried to do to Sonny that day.
Exactly. Yeah. I think someone suggested this Oblak guy who's on a free transfer.
Oblak, Jan Oblak.
But isn't he the same age? Isn't he the same age?
I think he's 32, 33, I think.
Yeah, so he's in the same sort of situation. That
we want to get a younger goalie, like Dermot said.
I mean, you can get a goalkeeper 25, 26 who's a decent keeper that's still for 8 or 9 years. So we've had Lloris for what? How long have we had Lloris? 10 years now? 10, 12 years?
Yeah.
So we didn't get Lloris until he was like 24, 25. So there are keepers out there. I think we need to. I think Forster this season is basically a decent backup keeper. But if you're looking at the future, we need to get a young up-and-coming keeper. That's why I was very surprised we didn't go for. Was it Henderson?
29.
He's 29. He plays for Atletico Madrid.
Okay, so that's a bit more realistic.
He is a Slovenia number one goalkeeper for Slovenia, and he's played for Benfica. Then he went on loan for a few places. Then he played for the Benfica B team, and he's been at Atletico Madrid since 2014. He's made 273 appearances.
I'm really surprised we didn't go for, is it Henderson at Sheffield United? Because he was 28, 29, and he is a sort of keeper that you say, well, look, Lloris has got a 2-year contract. You're going to be substitute for the next 2 seasons, but then he's gone. You're on number one. So, you know, it's and they've got to do that with another young keeper, I believe, bringing him in and saying, look, you know, the job's going to be yours in a few years' time, but, you know, we just want you to be in the background for a bit. 29. See, 29 is not as bad, actually, as I thought it might be 34, 33.
I think a goalkeeper coming into his primes around 30, 31, 32, 33.
Yeah. It's certainly a position where, you know, age doesn't mean as much as if you're an outfield player. So
no, that's true. I mean, Dina Doff played to over 40.
Peter Wren put here, Villiers decided not to play as a result of the Falklands War. He didn't want to upset the English fans. I think our D-list was away on international duty.
I think from watching the highlights, I think Ardillis might have played in the semi-final because I remember being booed a lot by the Leicester City fans. I think he flew back to Argentina. It might have been international duty, but I thought he did go back because of what was happening there. And Ricky Villiers, quite rightly, as said, was he didn't want to upset the English fans. I'll tell you another funny story about that was that I'm not proud of this, but I used to go around my girlfriend's house and they'd be showing the highlights of I think England were in the World Cup, and England fans were singing Argentina, what's it like to lose a war? And I'm drilling along, so singing along with it. We used to the scooter. We used to go to the place where scooter mate. This guy used to compare all the scooters. And he'd always put on a Christmas party. We went there, and there were 2 Argentinian lads there. And I'd broken up with my girlfriend, but she was still there. And she went out to these Argentinian lads and said, "Come over here. This is my ex-boyfriend. He sings Argentina. What's it like to lose a war?" And sort of walks off. And I sort of looked at them.
Oh no!
Then we started. And I said, Argentina, Aussie Ardillis, Ricardo Villa. Oh yeah, Spurs, brilliant. We got brilliant. We both agreed that Galtieri and complete idiots. Didn't like So and we got them brilliantly. Had drinks and that. Yeah. That's quite one of those stories.
The moral of that story, just mention the 2 World Cup winning stars.
Exactly.
And you're in their good books.
Look, the line
Leicester are beating Nottingham Forest 3-0. Guess who scored? James Maddison, 2 goals, and Harvey Barnes. James Maddison, the player we should have bought.
I can see the Forest manager getting the sack.
Oh, that's what my friend Steve. That's what my friend Steve has said. Yeah, Spurs should
Cooper.
No, you know what? I've got a mate in Australia called Steve Cooper.
All right, okay.
Is it the same fella?
Big Spurs fan as well. Big Spurs fan.
The Wolves manager got sacked, didn't he?
He did, yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Apparently Oreos just come on for Notts Forest.
Oh Jesus! Well, that's Forest giving a penalty away.
They're not going to win now, are they?
Do you want to tell people about your show, the new show we're going to do for you? Your new show on this channel.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a show for the Spurs women, the WSL. I'm going to be highlighting all their games, doing some previews and some post matches. If I'm at the match, I'll give you a post match report straight after the game. And Dermot's done me a fantastic intro, really, really good one. So I'm looking forward to doing my first one. We've already played 3 games. We beat Leicester. We lost to Arsenal, unfortunately, at their ground. I'm not going to mention the score. And then not last night, I think the night before, we beat Reading 2-1 in the League Cup. So we're doing okay. It's a work in progress with these girls because Rianne Skinner, she's had them for a very short while. She's a proven coach. It takes time to stamp your style of play onto the girls. So, and they haven't got quite the personnel yet to actually compete with the Arsenals and the Chelseas, but they'll get there. They need a couple of more signings, a bit like our first team of the men. We need to get more ballers because we've got Ashley Neville, who's a fantastic player. She's awesome. She could even play for the top teams if she wanted to, but she's been loyal to Spurs, and I like that about her. So I'm going to try and get a few interviews in with the girls as well, because after the match they always come over, and I'm going to try and get Shalina Sadorski because she's one of my favourite players as well because she's tough.
They did
she's
very
from
well,
Canada.
First season they did pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we're bringing that up soon. That's been in the works for a little while, but we've finally got the show together. So we're going to start it off as pre-records, and we're going to put them up. And then what we'll do is, as the season goes on, any big games, we'll be doing watch-alongs for them as well on the channel. We're going to do watch-alongs for the under-21s as well. We're going to do some of them as well to keep you in touch with the youth side of Spurs. So yeah, we've got a lot of good things, and then the World Cup we're going to follow Argentina, Canada. I suppose we'll have to follow England because of Ellie, and
they really are.
Canada for Izan, England for Ellie, Argentina for me and Philip Brady, and then that's it. And also we've got a change in our lineup as well, haven't we, Ellie? Might as well announce that tonight as well.
Yeah, we've got the brilliant Chris coming on, who's so funny and very straight talking. He lives up in the Geordie land as well, so he gets a lot of ribbing up there. So this is going to be a release for him, where he can vent all his angers against these Geordie fans who keep on giving him jib. And he's a very straight talking. He keeps to his opinion. He's got his opinion and he won't stray from it, which I like in a person.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get easily swayed by the status quo, as you can say. Yeah, so I'm really glad to announce that he's joining our channel. Brilliant.
And sadly, Mark is leaving us. So we had a bit of a transfer. I just think for Mark, work was just getting busy for him, and yeah. It wasn't getting easy for him. But look, with that, Mark, for everything he's done for the channel, he's been here since near enough the start. So big up to you, Mark. Always welcome back. But Chris is our new member of THFC till I die. So we're over the moon to get that deal over the line. Ellie was a bit like Levy. She took her time with it. She saved a few pounds here. She saved a few pounds there. But we got them in the end. So,
yeah.
I've just seen two saves.
Yeah, because QPR played very well in this game. They had a lot of chances to score. They had the one that got disallowed, but it was obviously going to be disallowed. But they put the heat on us. But we stood strong and we got the result in the end.
This question's for you, Ellie.
That's a good
by
game.
Peter M. Talking of the Women's League, are we going to become serious challengers? The North London derby was so one-sided and a bit depressing. Not a single lioness plays for Spurs.
I think I know. Well, we did have a couple recently, but what I find is that we need to strengthen right throughout the team. We bought a little girl called Ellie. Actually, her name's Ellie Brighton from I think I can't remember who we got her from, but I have to do a bit more research. But we've got the crux of the team. We've got a base of the team is good, but we need to strengthen in lots of different areas to make us competitive against the Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Man U's. But we're nearly, because we've got a very, very good coach. She's very disciplined, the coach. She knows how to drill the girls and the fitness levels are good. So we just need to maybe make a few more signings in the January sales and the summer sales next season to strengthen, because we're not quite there yet. But, it only takes a couple of players. It doesn't take 5, 6, 7 players, 2 players, and it can make a big, big difference in key positions.
I'm sorry, my laptop just died. The other laptop I used.
Oh, right,
for a thing.
I can put it on if I can put it.
It's all right. I mean, look, I think we'll call it a stream because we've got Dave Harris on. I think we're all going to get over there.
We've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Haven't we? We've been going for an hour.
Spoilers, we won the game.
We won the game. We won the cup.
QPR won it. Yeah. Look, my other computer died. I think that just sums up the show, really, isn't it? It started off with bad. It might as well just continue on. Look, I've really enjoyed this.
Mickey hasn't just replied to us, by the way.
Okay.
He said Wednesday's good for him. Just let me know in the morning of the 5th, he said.
Yeah, Wednesday would be fine for me,
Yeah.
So there you go. Breaking news. Mickey Hazard back on here The 5th of October.
He's probably just got home as well, the poor thing.
Yeah. Me, Ellie, and Brad are going to hock over to the Irish Hotspur to get promoted for Wednesday night show. So please get your questions in. Get them in either by email, WhatsApp, email me or Ellie, WhatsApp me or Ellie, and we'll get your questions. You'll see myself back here, of course, on Wednesday. Brad will be back with us. Look, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight. I had a giggle. I should have really had the night off and given Ellie the hosting duties, really, because she's done a fantastic job. Well, I was stuck at the bottom. Dealing with the chat, Ellie just took the show on, and Ellie's wonderful, kind, kind and caring way, how she looks after this channel. She just took it in a gentle way. But Ellie, where can people find you, Brad? And do you want to put in the link, your link for your YouTube channel, so I can tell?
I don't know how to, but
okay. Well, where can people find you, Brad? Anyway,
yeah, but they can find me if they go onto Twitter. They can find me at BSofa Songs for my music. Brad Hotspur for just me.
Song.
And on YouTube, it's Blue Sofa Songs, which is all 3 words. If you look for Brad Matthews, you'll probably find me against I think there's a guy who looks after sharks, and there's actually a wrestler called Brad Matthews as well. But if you search for me, you'll find me. Blue Sofa Songs. Yeah, trying to get a song on every Friday. It's just me and my guitar. They're all songs I've written. The lyrics are mine. The music's mine. I'm still really learning. So some songs work, some don't work, you know. But please give me a listen and do the old click like and subscribe. I've got 95 subscribers, so getting towards the 100. And so please do that.
Come on, everyone on here. Before we get on to the Irish Hotspur tonight, before even Brad gets on there, if he's going on, get him to 100. We can do it. Let us be the channel that brings him into the ton. So come on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Carl
you very
Simpson much. Saying he's still waiting for the Spice Girls song. Well, we might get that in the channel.
Yeah, look, they won't. Oh, they won't return my calls. They won't return my calls.
You've got one of the Spice Girls up beside you, Brad.
Yeah, I keep ringing them, but they don't. Don't return my calls.
My favourite Spice Girls song is "Mama, I love you, Mama, I care." I love that song because it's about mum. It's about
I just
mum.
want to get this off back. Yeah, beautifully sung, Ellie. I just want to get this from Kev Williams.
I'll try my best.
Are you you're like the Cilla Black of our channel. You're going to start singing surprise in a minute.
People say I look like her as well.
Right? Yeah. No,
what do you reckon? Do you reckon I look like Cilla Black a bit? Apparently, I look like Cilla Black a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Just don't start singing surprise.
Cilla Black. A lot of laughs.
Yeah. Kev Williams says, "I'm not happy about the result. Against Arsenal, but there's a massive overreaction, and the minorities fans called Conte out." Brad knows exactly what I'm going to say. I think he's going to agree.
You know what I mean?
And the small-minded response from a few fickle fans. He's put in here also. What else he put? He says here, "We've lost one game. We're 3rd in the league, and we'll have our voice back in Conte." Yeah. I said it on Twitter. I trust Conte 1,000%. I trust the done. Let's not overreact. Let's not one defeat define our season. And that's what I said the other day. Let's not one defeat. And then we've got Carl Simpson still waiting for the Spice Girls. That will happen. Bounce, not voice. Philip doesn't know yet, but I've got an idea.
That's his Spurs fan.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He is a Spurs fan.
She was my favourite Spice Girl.
And she's the prettiest one as well.
But
in my opinion, she's the prettiest Spice Girl.
She was lovely. My friend I used to work with my friend. His leaving presents, because his girlfriend actually did look like her. His leaving present was a big life-size.
Lucky man.
Of baby's face. So.
I just responded to Mickey Hazard as well, just to let him know that we'll do whatever he says. Really,
yeah, that's brilliant.
It's a shame that he was stuck in traffic and he couldn't get on, but listen, onwards and upwards. We've got another show to look forward to, and also we've got the aftermath of the Arsenal game. We've got the Eintracht Frankfurt to get over it. So hopefully the boys will go out to Germany and make us proud of them again.
And we will be doing the watch along to that game tomorrow night here on the channel as well. So we will be.
I'll be
doing
there.
The watch along for that.
I'll be there with you.
Okay, I think we'll end it there, and then we'll meet each other over the Irish Hot Club. Yes. So thank you all for watching. Queen Ellie, thank you for everything. Brad, the musician, I'm going to call you the music man. That's your nickname. The music man. Or what was Billy Joel's nickname? Billy, the piano man. I'm going to call you the guitar man. There you go. That's your nickname.
I quite like Billy Joel. Uptown girl, she's been living with a downtown boy. I like his songs. He was very good on the piano, Billy Joel.
Someone in Australia called me Brady Bragg, so I'll take that one.
I'm still going to call you the guitar man. But listen, thank you very much at all. Listen, Ellie will be premiering Ellie's new show tomorrow or Wednesday lunchtime. It's going to be pre-recorded, so we're either going to put it out in the late afternoon or early tea time. So that will be coming this week. Mickey Hazard will be on Wednesday. We've got the watch along tomorrow, and then Friday we have the Golden Game, the 1984 UEFA Cup final, Tottenham Hotspur versus Anderlecht. So all that to look forward to. Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
In CONTE we trust.
In CONTE.